All right, my friends, how you doing out there? Today, we are heading to some culture. We're going to go to the Museum of Contemporary Art, the MOCA. My boss was telling me the other day, he goes, Oz, you spend all this time talking about boots and motorcycles and heavy metal music, but you need some art. You need some modern contemporary art that tackles today's issues, the issues that people are concerned about. So he said, after work today, go check out the new exhibit at the MOCA. So I said, what the hell? Let's go for it. So I thought I'd make a little video. Hopefully they'll let me videotape inside, but we'll see how it goes. So let's go check it out. All right, my friends, I'm here inside the Disney Hall. This is where I parked. They actually have motorcycle parking here. I should have bought my bike, but live and learn, live and learn. Anyway, I gotta take these escalators up to the MOCA, so up to street level, and then we're gonna go to the MOCA. But this is the inside of the, what level am I on? I'm not even sure. I think it's B4. Anyway, this is right underneath the Disney Hall where they do all the classical stuff. And these are the escalators. Did you hear recently there was some kind of an accident on some escalator somewhere where a bunch of people, I guess the escalator lost control or something, and a bunch of people got injured? I guess it went down, it was going down, and the weight of all the people was just too much for it. But anyway, this is it. This is the Disney Hall. At least the parking area. Not too many people here. I guess because it's a weekday. But anyway, let's see what we see. All right, my friends, we're here, downtown Los Angeles again. But this time we're gonna go check out some culture. No boots or motorcycle talk today, my friends. It's all culture, even though I am wearing my brand new West Coast. But anyway, that's another story. Let me show you around here a little bit before you enter the buildings. So over there, where it says future, I don't know if I can zoom in on us going up and down. Where it says future, that's the Museum of Contemporary Art right there, the MOCA. And over here, that's the Disney Hall, where they do all the operas and those kind of things. The Philharmonic. All right. I don't know what they're doing over here, but there's a line. Looks like people are trying to get into this building. I'm not too sure what it is. All right. All right, my friends. So here we are. We're almost at the entrance here. I think it must be like a free admission day, so I think I might luck out and be able to get into these puppies free. I see a lot of signs saying free admission. I did have to pay. I will have to pay for parking though. I think it's $20. So they always get you. Anyway, let me see if I can get in to see this museum. All right, my friends, it's the Ozman with ya. And yes, I made it to the museum entrance here. Take a little walk down. That guy's an actual real person. Kind of looks like it might be some kind of art piece there, but that's actually a real guy. But anyway, here I am at the museum. Okay, they are kind of strict on video. They only want you to do very short videos, so I'll have to break this down to little bits and pieces. But I'll take some pictures and show them as well. So I'm there at the museum, and one of the security guys says to me, "Man, your boots are great. Those are cool looking boots." I said, "Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. I'm kind of known for my boots." And I said, hey, can you take a picture of me? Because, I think this is kind of a cool little art piece. It's kind of minimalist, minimalist. And he said, sure. So, I did tell him, I said, hey, I'm a little surprised that a lot of these artists are from like, the 60s and the 70s. And he goes, well, yeah, most of the artists here are from that time period. I thought, well, isn't this the Museum of Contemporary Art? So wouldn't it be like modern artists? And he goes, well, yeah, technically, but most of the artists are, artwork is from the late 60s, 70s, and even some 80s. All right, so this next piece where you see the two pictures, one is a man face down and I don't know, the dirt, and then the other one's just the dirt without him. So when I saw the name of the artist, I looked really quick and it said Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney from the Beatles. And I was like, oh my God, Paul McCartney. I didn't realize he was a photographer. I didn't realize he had a photo here. And then the security lady or the art person, whatever, art master, I don't know what they call her. She goes, no, it's not Paul McCartney. He's an artist, a photographer named Paul McCarthy. And I was like, oh man, I thought there was some Beatle magic here. But she goes, no, but she says, don't worry, don't feel bad because everybody thinks it's Paul McCartney, but it isn't. Oh well. All right, so once again, the power of West Coast tall boots, you can never underestimate it. So as I mentioned earlier, there was the worker there who commented on my boots and he took a picture of me and everything. So I'm looking around, looking at, after I'm done with that, of course, I'm continuing looking around. And then this lady right here, this beautiful young lady, her name was Micah, or is Micah. I'm standing there looking at some art piece and she goes, those boots are amazing. They are incredibly beautiful, amazing boots. And I was like, well, thanks. I appreciate it. These are West Coast tall boots. And she goes, wow, you look great in those boots. And I said, well, thanks. And she goes, most guys would never wear boots like that. And I'm like, well, I'm not most guys. Yeah, take it to the next level. But anyway, she was really nice. She was from Chicago visiting Los Angeles. And we had a great little conversation. But I just threw in her photo here because, I'm just, if you look at the way I'm dressed pretty regular, but the power of tall boots, my friends, that's just the bottom line. And then this next photo is Andy Warhol. I don't know the name of this photo. I'm assuming it's called Telephone, but I forgot to look at the title of the picture. But I like the fact that it was an Andy Warhol. I'm like, whoa, Warhol. So throwing that in there, little, everybody loves Andy Warhol, right? And then next up is Jackson Pollock. When I was in art school, I learned about Jackson Pollock and the drip paintings and such. And this is one of his paintings, and I just thought, hey, let me take a picture and throw it in here in the video. All right, I think this is a Jackson Pollock. All right, my friends. Well, we just finished checking out the MOCA. They were very restrictive on video, so I can only do little bits and pieces of video. But I'll try to put something together when I'm making this video for you guys. And I did take a decent amount of photos, so there should be some kind of magical video coming your way when you see this puppy. I did want to comment though. I'm wearing my tall Wescos, my 18-inch brand new Wescos. And I have gotten so many compliments, it's ridiculous. People, I think I've said this before, sometimes people say, oh, Oz, I can't buy boots like that. People will look at me, I'll be embarrassed. I get people starting a conversation with me. I'm a mean looking guy. I don't know if you noticed that. But I have a mean expression. Look, I'm not gonna say anything for a second. Just look at me. You see? So people are usually intimidated by me. Not that I'm a mean guy or anything, but I have a mean expression. I just, I just do. So a lot of people who don't know me, they, when they first see me, they think, oh man, this guy, he looks kind of like a mean person. I don't know if I want to hang with this guy or chit chat with him. And so it's, it's not always easy for me to make friends or meet people because people are intimidated by me, just because I have a mean look. And even when I was younger in high school, I remember people would just look at me like, what's wrong with this guy? He looks so mean. I think it's because right here I got this whole kind of, eyebrow thing where my eyebrows lay low or hang low. But anyway, but with these boots, man, people start talking to me. I mean, I was in the museum there. I wish I could record it, but these people don't want me to record anything. But so many people were like, wow, those boots are great. You look great in those boots. And this one woman from Chicago, she was all saying to me, oh man, I've never seen boots like that. What kind of boots are they? And, I was telling her about Wesco and everything. And she was saying, oh man, you look so stylish. Most guys don't look so stylish. And I'm like, well, it's hard not to be noticed in boots. But at the end of the day, I'm also always a little surprised that people make such a big deal about my boots. Because at the end of the day, they're just boots. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just like, everybody has boots. Everybody has probably a pair of boots at home, maybe not tall boots. But there's just something about these Wescos, these knee-high, tall boots that just seem to, attract attention. Because if you look at the rest of me, I'm just dressed regular. I'm wearing a t-shirt and jeans. Look. There, let me put this down for a second. Yeah, see? Just jeans and t-shirts. Everybody wears jeans and t-shirts. But, it's the boots that take it to the next level. Anyway, it was pretty cool, the MOCA. Apparently it is today's like free day for the museum, so you can see all the museums for free. There's another museum across the street. I'm debating if I should check it out, but I don't know if I feel like it, to be honest. So I'm probably going to pass on that one for this time around. And what is it called? The Board. It's called the Board Museum. But I think I've had enough cultural awareness for the day, so I'm going to head back home and do other things. All right, my friends, I guess it's time for me to wrap things up anyway. So until next time, my friends, ride like the wind and don't let that wind ride you. And I'll see you on the next video, okay? Okay, a little bonus footage right here. I'm back inside the Disney Hall. Look at that. bonus footage. Okay, as part of the bonus footage area here, I came across this book by Yoko Ono giving instructions on how to draw. And I don't know, I just thought it was kind of funny. I was like, whoa, Yoko Ono. So, because earlier I thought I saw a picture from Paul McCartney. Wasn't Paul McCartney, but, I thought, hey, kind of interesting how the synchronicity, how, the Beatles thing's happening, right? So, anyway, little Yoko Ono there. And one final bit is this devil book here. I actually thought it was a very cool book. Basically you open up the book and it has just like a bunch of like photographs of movies that dealt with stories about the devil and cults and all this kind of stuff. And the book was like $30. And I thought, man, this is a cool book, but I don't want to spend $30. I'm sure I can buy it online later. But I find that it's out of print. It's out of print. And it's like some eBay or one of these places like charging $100 for it. So, yeah, I snoozed and I loosed. But, oh well, what you going to do? Anyway, I'll see you in the next video, people. And until then, you have a good one, all right?